Hello, welcome back. In the last videos, we have talked about uh, Cucumber hooks, part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay, now it's time for us to move further. So now, if you remember, we have kept some of the default options in the cucumber.json file. Okay, in order to tell the cucumber that, hey, please pick the feature files which is in this format, and you pick the spec files, I mean that ts file, their implementations from here, right? And load some modules like this. Okay, now can I keep only cucumber.json, these options only in the json file? I would say no. Okay, so you can see this configuration file, this cucumber.json, you can keep of your choice. Okay, you can see you can keep your configuration in a file. Cucumber will look for one of these files in the root of your project. Okay, so that's the reason you remember we kept this at the root level, at the project root level. Okay, so now you see here we have JSON file which we are implementing in your project. If you feel that okay, this is not comfortable for me, you can go for YAML, and you can go for .js, .cjs, .mjs as per your need. Okay, so I would suggest JSON file should be good enough, easy to read and easy to convey the things. And yeah, as I said earlier, you have the examples over here where you can provide your you know options in the YAML format and JavaScript ESM format and common JS format, and you can provide like a CLI format where you can provide everything in one line. It's your wish. Okay, so the thing you need to understand is this configuration file, you can put it in a different formats: .json, YAML, YML, JS, CJS, MJS. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now we will discuss about some of the you know options that we passed, right? So you took a look at the first one. It is taking the array, string of array, right? And you see this path to where your feature files are, right? You have to tell the cucumber that okay, hey boss, you go in this place and execute every feature file present over here. We can do multiple filters as well. That is the reason it is given as a array over here. This is already discussed. I hope it is clear. Path is nothing but where you are specifying your dot feature files. In our case, we have src test features. Now I said within this any folder, any subfolder, I just want the extension which is having dot feature file. So it will pick everything and then start executing. Okay. So now backslash. Some of the options we cannot go one by one. I will combine. So as of now, I will keep this aside. Now dry run, you can see prepare a test run, but don't run it. Okay, so let's say if I say npm cucumber.js test, what will have? It has executed everything. Okay, now it is completing very quickly because we just did the console logs. Imagine you have these all four files, and you have written some playwright, you have integrated selenium or playwright, whatever it is. Now it will start taking execution, right? So it will take time. Okay, so if you want to do some dry run, whether to check every corresponding step is having its step or not in the step definitions. Okay, so what I will do, simply dry run. Okay, I will say true. Okay, remember, for this the default value is false. Okay, so run this one and see. Okay, let me clear everything, and you can see everything got skipped. Now if everything is been skipped, then why to run? So as I said earlier, let's say I have this one. Okay, copy and paste it, and just a cart blah blah blah. Okay, now I will just do some dry run. See here that we are without launching, we are able to identify the okay, there is one step which is undefined. I need to implement it. Okay, in those scenarios, this particular one will be helpful for us. Okay, so dry run, by default it's a false. You can make it as a true. Okay, so I once again I'm saying here, prepare a test run, but don't run it. But don't run this one. Okay, you can see here. The efficient is that cucumber will do all the aggregation work, looking at the feature files, loading your support code, etc. But that without actually without actually executing the test. Okay, and remember, no hooks are executed, steps are reported as skips, undefined ambiguities are reported but don't cause the process to fail. Okay, and this is very useful, finding the unused step definitions with a usage format, generating the snippets, checking if your path and everything is fine or not. Okay, so it's like a dry run. I mean, just to check that okay, everything is set up, everything is done. If you mark it as a false, it should go through without any issues. Okay, so that is the use of dry run over there. Now let's continue. Now we need to discuss force exist, fail fast, backtrace. Okay, so in order to discuss about these three, so far if you remember, right, so we have not failed any of our steps. Okay, so if you run our steps, let me go here, mark it as a false and run it again. Okay, so far everything is getting passed now, we are not failing anything. Okay, what we'll do, we'll try to fail one step at least. Okay, for that I'm going to use see assertion library, you can use child libraries and all. I want to use the existing node.js one. Okay, so here I will say let assert equal to require, I will say asset. This is a node.js assertion uh, library we have. Okay, so here at a common step, okay, let's say uh, I want to fail here, a second one, let's say second one, edit. Okay, so here I will say, did I import it here? Yes. Okay, which is very good. So now here I will say asset dot strict equal. Okay, see here strict equal 1 comma 2. Intentionally I'm failing. Okay, message is this is intentional fail. Okay, so now let us try to run the program here. Clear. Okay, now you see here, observe here, everything got executed. All four feature files are for all four scenarios. Only one step got failed, and you see the difference over here, right? So this is intentional fail, one not equal to two, expected is -1, but I got two, something like that. That should be fine. So now, if you take a look at the error log, you do not have much information. What it has told you is where exactly it is failing. That's it. Even more further, there is no stack trace. So if you want that, you simply specify backtrace. Okay. So I will copy this, go to my cucumber.json, and simply I will say true. Okay. I will run the program again, clear. And you see this, everything is fine. There is no difference at all from the previous to now. But observe here, it is giving entire backtrace. Generally, we call it stack trace, right? Same thing. Entire information will be given to you, right? Show the full backtrace for errors. By default, it is going to be false. You can make it as a true if you want to in depth like this. Okay, this is very helpful if you're calling so many methods and you want to backtrace everywhere where it got exactly failed. This is going to be helpful for us. Okay, this option. Now, fail fast. Okay, stop running the test when a test fails. Okay, so let's go in depth of it. By default, observe here, by default, Cucumber runs the entire suite. You can see here, right? Even though we have one failed, the rest of the, see, the failure is presented the feature file 2 scenario. File 1, file 3, file 4 does not have any issues. That is the reason everything got executed over here. Okay. Fail fast allows a developer workflow where you work on one failure at a time. Okay, because you have requirement that okay, if something fail, you stop it over there, you fix it and then go ahead, right? So combining this feature will rerun files that allow you to work through the all failures in an efficient manner. Okay, so now you can see a note on this conjunction with retry is we consider test case to have failed if it is an exhaust retries and still fails, but passed if it is rerun a retry having failed previous attempts. So fall pace fail fast does still allows retries to happen. Okay, so I will explain you in even simply fashion. What I will say, this option, go here, copy this, fail fast, and I will say true. Okay, so earlier everything got passed, right? Now you see here four scenarios, one failed, two skipped, one passed. What happened? The first one is passed because it has done the execution, picked up the file. Second while it has picked up and understand that there is a failure. And Cucumber wanted to continue it to the third file, but it has not continued because of this option. I said fail fast, right? If the developer, for example, why we use these BDD, TDDs and all, right? So in order to know your bugs, if you want to know, let's say a developer you're running, as a developer, he's running some scripts and he want to test one by one. You don't want to go all the things to be get failed and fixed one by one. Right? That's what this documentation is also saying, right? So it depends. If you, as a QA, generally we trigger everything. We don't want things to get stopped over there itself when something is getting failed, right? But this option is given. Generally, from my perspective, from QA perspective, I don't think so. It has any great added advantage for us. Okay. From developer perspective, yes, it is correct. Okay, but you can still debate on this. This is good in this perspective. That is also I welcome it. Okay, this option is clear. Dry run, backstrace, and fail fast. Okay, fail fast is nothing but stopping your entire suite if any fail occurs. As simple in simple words. Okay, and this one I think don't need to even discuss. Also, I will tell you what exactly it is. Okay, it's not easy to replicate this particular one. Okay, to replicate this particular option, so go over here. Okay, by default cucumber exists when event loop drains. Okay, let's say what happened is you made some database connections. Okay, so you know, right, how javascript works asynchronously. Okay, so it has event loop concept and everything. Now you have 10 scenarios and every 10 got completed. But I may imagine one or two connections are still running in the event loop. So what Cucumber will do? Cucumber will still wait until this event loop gets emptied. You can see by default, Cucumber exists when the event loop drains. Okay. Use the force exit configuration option in order to force shut down the event loop when the test run has finished. You have 10 scripts, 10 scripts got completed, but somehow there is some open connection to the database or something has happened and the event loop is still there. There's some processes going on. So Cucumber still waits. Okay, I have to wait for it because there is something is going on in the event loop, right? In that particular time, so better not to wait for these things. So, you can mark it as a force exit true. So once execution is over, it will stop everything by calling process.exit. One method will be there. It will call and it will exit. Okay. So you can see here, this is discouraged as fixing the issues that causes the hang is better long-term solution, right? See, you have 10 scripts as I said earlier and you're trying to execute it. Okay, so what has happened, uh, if you if you use this option, what will happen? 10 scripts got completed and it will come out of the execution, but there may be these issues might be exist which will still hanging over there, unnecessarily resource being utilized over there, right? Some potential errors also might be missing into the production. Anything can happen, right? We do not know, right? So this is not recommended at all. Always have a force exists, false only, not the true. Okay, so this is discouraged as fixing the issues that causes the hang is better a long-term solution rather than as a temporary. That's fine, but if a long run, make it as a false and go ahead. Okay, so this is the how many we have discussed so far. We have discussed about path and yeah, this require, as I said earlier, uh, where your spec files are present, and especially if you're working with the TypeScript, definitely you need to, you need TS node in order to run your TypeScripts and dry run, backtrace, fail fast, and force exist. These are all 7 options we have discussed. In the upcoming videos, we will be discussing furthermore. Like we have so many options, right? One last I will tell you, this is a very easy one, language. Okay, so you can see the default language of your feature files. Okay, so right? So definitely BDD supports multiple languages. Okay, so by default it is going to be en. By default it is going to be en. Let's say you have written your feature files in your local language, maybe Chinese or blah blah blah. It could be any language. So there you can change the value and you can continue the execution. Okay, not much. I would say 99% we go with the language unless until you have scripts to be executed in different languages, which has in different language, not English. Okay, so I hope it is clear. These 8 options. We'll continue to learn all the options which are present in the these particular options as a part of cucumber.json file. Okay, thanks for watching.